Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Foundercube, a website dedicated to providing resources for entrepreneurs. In this video, we will be learning how to create a beautiful Wix website in within 20 minutes with no coding involved at all. By the end of this video, we will be able to create Wix websites such as this one right here, and we can see that it's a very clean and nice looking website. So that's pretty cool. More importantly, we will make sure that our Wix website is completely mobile responsive, as we can see over here, that this is what it will look like on a mobile device, and once again it's very nice looking. Okay, so with that said guys, if this is something that you're interested in, then go ahead and click the subscribe button below. I would greatly appreciate your support. This is completely free content, and with that said, if you're ready, then I'm ready, and let's get this tutorial started. So before we do get started, let's scroll down to the description of the video to where it says click here to open resource page, so right over here. So let's go ahead and click this link over here. Now this is an important link because this is where I went ahead and put the steps in creating a Wix website. So to follow the tutorial, it's very important that you click this link. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here where it says how to make a Wix website. And right here, we will see a get started button. So just go ahead and click that. So once we click that, we will be directed to this section in the page where it says watch the video to get started. Now we currently are watching the video, so you don't have to watch it. Just scroll down over here to where it says step 1, create Wix account. So in our first step, we're going to go ahead and create our Wix account. This is an extremely simple and free process, okay? So let's just go ahead and click this button over here which says create Wix account. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here which says create your own beautiful website, and we can see a start now button right here. So let's go ahead and click this button. So once we do that, we will be directed to a sign up page right here. Now if you want, you can sign up using your social media accounts right here, or just put in your information like your password and your mailing address, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Just going to go ahead and put in my Gmail. Give me a second. And then I'm just going to go ahead and copy this once more. And then go ahead and set a password for your store. And once you have that done, just go ahead and press the sign up button right here. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here which says what kind of website do you want to create. And now we can go ahead and pick a category that best meets our need. For this particular tutorial, I'm going to go with the most generic category, which is business. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click this right here. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here, and we can see that this page is divided into two sections. On the right over here, we have the list of different free templates that are available to us. We can see that they're all very nice templates, and you can pick whatever you want that best meets your needs. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And on the left over here, we have the different categories that we can use to narrow our search down. For example, we have categories like business, photography, video, music, design, and the list goes on. So once you pick a category, just go ahead and click it, and then we can see a bunch of subcategories appear right here. So we can go ahead and pick a subcategory that best meets our niche, okay? So go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to go with the generic business category over here, and then scroll down to a template that you like. So I'm going to go ahead and use this co-working space template right here. So to view a template, just click over it and then press the view button right here, okay? So once we do that, we will be directed to our template's main page, and we can scroll through and quickly preview to see if we like the template. So we can see this particular template is a very nice and clean template, and that's why I really like it, okay? So if you like your template, you can go ahead and further start customizing it. If you don't like it, you can just simply close the browser and go back to your previous tab and pick a different template. Okay, now the next thing I want to show you when you're previewing your template, to make sure that it's compatible on a mobile screen. To make sure that it's compatible, just go ahead and click this button on the top left which says mobile view. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here where we can see that this is what our template would look like on a mobile screen. And we can see that in this particular case, it looks very nice. So I'm very happy with it. Okay, so that's how you can just make sure that it looks good on a mobile screen. And once you have that check in place, we can go back to our main page right here. So once you do that, you will be directed to your main page once again. And once you're happy with your template, we can go ahead and begin customizing our template. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So to customize our template, let's go ahead and press this button on the top right where my cursor is. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here, which is our main customization page. And we can see that our template is front and center right here for preview. On the left, we have a list of tabs available to us, so that's pretty cool. On the right, we have a nice little toolbar over here, and on the top, we have a list of tools that we can use. So we have a lot of different things that we can use. Now I know that it may seem a bit complicated right now, but I promise you it's very simple to use. So with that said, let's get right into it. We will go first over the basics of Wix, and then we will make our way towards more advanced features, okay? So the first thing that I want to show you is how we can reposition different things on our template. So for example, if I want to reposition this little text over here, I can just drag it and then drop it wherever I want. It's literally that simple, okay? So you can drag and drop it over here, for example, and there we go. We have repositioned our text. So once we've repositioned our text, the next thing I want to show you is how we can customize this text. So if I double click it over here, we can see that this text settings pop-up appears. Okay, on the right over here, we have our font families available to us. If I hit this drop down, we can go ahead and change the font to whatever we want. So let's say, for example, if I want to change it to this, we can see that my font has changed. All right. So pretty straightforward stuff. I'm just going to go back and change it to the default. And then over here, we have our font size. So I can make it extra small if I want, or really, make it very big. So pretty straightforward stuff. I can make it bold. I can put a line underneath it. We can center it, put it on the left, right, very basic and generic settings. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and press this X button over here. And the next thing I want to show you is to replace this text. You can just, once again, just click it again and then just type in whatever you want. So for example, test text. Okay, you can put in whatever text you want. And it was really that simple. So with that said, guys, that's pretty much how you customize your text and how you reposition different things on a template. And now with that said, now we can move on to our next main thing that I want to talk about. And that is how we remove and change this background picture. Okay, so this background picture, let's say, for example, if you want to put up your own custom picture, you can do so very simply by just clicking it. Okay, and then we will see a change strip background button right here. So go ahead and click that. So once we click that, we will see this pop-up appear over here. Now we can change the background to a color, a picture, or a video. It's completely up to you. We can see that there is a list of free backgrounds available over here. So we can just go ahead and pick them. If you click the picture button right here, we will see a pop-up appear, and then we can go ahead and further put up a picture from here. So we can go ahead and select a picture for free from Wix, and that's what I'm gonna do. So just click that. We will see a list of categories available for our pictures right here, and we will see some pictures over here. So pretty cool stuff. So you can just go ahead and pick a picture and then press the change background button right here. And let's give it a second. So we can see, there we go. We can see that our background has been changed. It was really that simple. Okay, so we can go ahead and press this X button here. And the next thing I want to show you is, once we've changed our background, is if we want to preview what our template looks like in full screen, we can go ahead and press this preview button on the top right where my cursor is. So just go ahead and click that. So once we click that, we will be directed to this page over here, and we can see that this is what our website will look like right now. With the changes we currently made. Now I know it doesn't look very nice, but this is just for tutorial purposes. When you create your own website, I'm sure it'll look much nicer. Okay, so with that said, once you're happy with the changes, or if you want to further change something else, just go back and press this button over here on the top right where my cursor is. So just go ahead and click that. And once we do that, this will take us back to our main customization page. And here we are. Okay, so now let's go ahead and further customize our template. So the next thing that I want to show you very quickly is over here, we can see that there's some white spacing on the left and right. Now we can change this with a custom background. So by pressing this background button over here, we can go ahead and see a list of pre-made free backgrounds available to us. So once again, just like our background over here, we can pick a color, a picture, or a video to put our background. So let's say, for example, if I put this as my background, we can see that on the left and right over here, our background has been replaced from white to the current background that we selected. Okay, so that's how you would change that. And once again, you can preview it very simply by clicking this button. So for now, we can go back to our white background because I think it looks much nicer. Okay, so that's what that background tab does over here. And once we have that figured out, the next thing I want to show you is, let's say, for example, if you want to create a new button and put the button on our template, we can do so very simply by pressing this plus button right here. So where my cursor is, we will see that a list of different things that we can go ahead and put onto our template. So we can put pictures, text, buttons, boxes, contact forms, whatever we want, we can just simply select over here and put onto our template. So going back to my buttons example, I can just pick this button right here and then select a style that you want. So I'm going to go with a very generic style. So this one right here, just click it. And once we do that, we can see that our button has been placed onto our template. Really that simple. We can reposition it by dragging and dropping it. Okay, we can change the text over here to whatever we want. So for example, I say learn more. Okay, so that's how you change the text, and then you can link the button to whatever you want by pressing it over here, and then we can link it to a page, a mailing address, a phone number, a document, whatever you want. So let's say, for example, if you want to link it to a phone number, when somebody clicks that learn more button, they will be shown this phone number, and you can add it right here. Okay, so very straightforward stuff. Now, if you want to remove something from your template, you can just right click it very simply and press the remove button right here. Okay, so there we go, the button has been removed. Okay, so that's how you put stuff onto your template, by clicking this button over here and then just selecting it from the drop down here. Okay, so that is pretty straightforward. So that's pretty much the basics of how you would customize your Wix website. It's the exact same thing that you go and keep doing for different sections. Over here, just like that, you can change the text by clicking this button over here, changing the font. Same exact concept that you can use. Okay, now with that said, the next thing that I want to show you is how to add a new page to your Wix website. So on the top left over here, you will see this pages button over here. If you press the drop down over here, we will see a list of pages that are currently on our website. So right over here, and then right here we will see this button which we can create a page with. So just go ahead and click that button over here. We will see this drop down appear, and then we pick this first option where we create a new page. So if you click it, so we can see that a new page has been created over here right in our navigation menu. So we can see it's a blank page, and we can go ahead and actually rename this. So by just pressing manage menu over here, this new page, pressing the three dots like right here, we can go ahead and rename it. So I'm going to go ahead and say test page, so that this is what our new page is going to be called. Press the done button, and there we go, there's our new page over here. Okay, so that's how you create a new page, guys. You just press this pages button over here and then press this create page button right here. Okay, very straightforward stuff. So the next thing that I want to show you is, as far as this navigation menu goes over here, you can easily reposition this by just dragging and dropping it. And once again, if you click it and press this manage menu button, you can remove something from a navigation menu by just simply going to it and pressing the dots over here. For example, let's say I want to remove this community from our navigation menu. I hit these three dots and I just press this remove button. Okay, and there we go, it's been removed from our navigation menu. Okay, so that's how you would do that. Okay, so with that said, that's how you would figure out your navigation menu. Once again, very straightforward. You can reposition your navigation menu by just dragging and dropping it wherever you want. So if you want this to be on the front, you can do that very easily, and then just do the same thing for the rest of them. Now the next thing that I want to show you is over here. You can see that you can go ahead and put in some third-party applications by just clicking this button over here, and then we will see this pop-up appear. Now you can go ahead and download whatever kind of applications you want. For example, if you want a Facebook like pop-up application, comment, a form builder, a Wix get subscriber, you just press this button over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and press it over here. Then we can just press it again to confirm it, and we can see that the thing will be put onto our site for us. Okay, so right there we can see it says like us on Facebook, and it's just downloaded for us and it does the work for us. So that's how you would install this app over here. Okay, so the next thing that I want to show you once I have this app installed is how to create a contact form. So it's very important to create a contact form because that's how customers can get in touch with you. So to do that, once again, just press this button over here and then scroll down to where it says contact. Okay, and then just select a contact form, and there we go. We can see that we have selected a contact form for us, and we can just place it over here. And then right here where it says set your mail, just press that. Make sure that your primary Gmail account is set up so that this is where the mail will be sent. Okay, so that's how you would set that up. Now I know this doesn't look very nice, but I'm just trying to show you how you can use the different functionalities and tools to make your own custom website. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this stuff over here. Give me a second. And with that said, I think that's pretty much it that I wanted to show you. The rest of the stuff is pretty self-explanatory. One thing that I want to show you very quickly is over here, if you press the start blogging button, we can see that it's a very neat feature in which if I click this button over here, Wix will create a blog for me. So we can see that a blog navigation button has been put on our header. And if I press this X button over here, we can see that a blog page has been included for me without me having to do no work at all. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And once again, you can remove this blog by just clicking it over here, manage menu. And if you're not happy with the blog, you can just go ahead and delete it. All right, so that's how that works. So with that said, guys, just go ahead and play around with this. It's very simple stuff. Once you're happy with your template, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and publish our website so that customers can see what it looks like. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So to publish our website, we're going to go ahead and click this publish button on the top right. So right where my cursor is, go ahead and click that. So once we click that, we will see this pop-up appear over here which says choose a domain before you publish, and we can see that there are two different alternatives available. The first one being get a free wix.com domain. So now this is a free Wix domain that we can get, but the thing is, if we get this domain, they will have a Wix branding on the URL. So for example, it will be something like foundercube.com.wixsite.com/ and then the name that you choose for your particular website. So the Wix branding will be shown to all customers that come to your website. So that's not very professional, okay? Now the second one over here gives you a customized domain. This is a lot more professional and I highly recommend it simply because it gives your brand or your website a branding, right? So let's say, for example, if I want to call my website Foundercube, then it will show as www.foundercube.com. So I highly recommend that if you're serious about creating a website, then you go with this second customized domain option. Okay, so let's go ahead and click that. So once you click that, we're going to go ahead and press this save and continue button over here. So once we do that, we will be directed to this pop-up over here which says your site was saved. And then we will see two tabs available to us. The first one says get a new domain name, and the second one says connect a domain that you have. Okay. Now 99% of people that are watching this tutorial, I assume, are creating a website for the first time. So in that case, we're going to go ahead and get a new domain name. All right. So let's go ahead and click this right here. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here where we see a list of premium plan that Wix has. So we can see them right over here. So essentially why we're buying a premium plan is because we want to remove the Wix branding from our website and we want to get a whole bunch of cool functionalities and features. So that's why we're pretty much buying these premium plans. Okay. Now they're very economical plans, guys. We can see that, it costs about $9 to about $16 a month if you buy one of these three plans. This is a bit more expensive and this is the absolute cheapest plan. Me personally, I would recommend that you go with the combo plan if you're using a small or personal website. If you have a bit of a more advanced website, then I would recommend going with this plan, which is for $12 a month. But it's not bad at all. It's pretty economical, and think of it as an investment for your brand and your website. Now to further top that off, for the first 2 weeks, it's a completely free 14-day money back guarantee. So if you don't like it in those 2 weeks, you can, close your website and you will not be charged. Okay. So with that said, guys, let's go ahead and pick a plan for this tutorial. I'm just going to go ahead and press this personal use plan. Just go ahead and press the select button when you have a plan picked. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here where it says select your combo plan subscription. Now you can select a 2-year subscription, a yearly, or a monthly subscription. It's completely up to you. I'm going to go with the monthly subscription, and then we can just go ahead and press the select button over here. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here which says purchase your combo plan. So let's go ahead and fill in our personal information over here. And once we have our personal information filled, we're going to go ahead and press the submit purchase button. So give me a second while I go ahead and actually fill this out. So I went ahead and filled out my information. Now I blurred the page out just because for security reasons. And once you have your information filled out, let's scroll down and press the submit purchase button right here. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here where it says congratulations, your site is premium, and now we can go ahead and select a domain name for our website. All right, so let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and call this website foundercubetestyoutube.com. Now I know it's not the best domain name, but just for the tutorial, I'm going with this domain name. Okay, so you can pick any domain you want depending on your brand. So once you have your domain name picked, go ahead and press the search button over here. We can see that foundercubetestyoutube.com is available. Perfect. I would be very shocked if it wasn't. And then we can go ahead and press this get it button right here. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here where it says Foundercube test youtube.com will soon be yours. And then we can go ahead and select a period of registration. I'm going to go with the 1 year period. Now the domain name, guys, to actually get the domain name for an entire year costs $14 per year. It's very economical if you think about it. Like I said, once again, think of your website as an investment, and the amount that you're spending right now is a one-time payment that you pay for the entire year, and it's only $14 for the entire year. Okay, so just go ahead and pick that. Once you have that done, go ahead and press the continue button over here. Then this is going to give you a summary page of your contact information and how much you're being billed. Once again, I'm going to blur this page out just for security purposes, and then go ahead and press the continue button again. So once we do that, we will be directed to this privacy tab over here, and we can see that over here it says choose private registration to protect your identity online. Now, once again, guys, I would highly recommend that you pay for this. Now, I know that it may seem like, I'm making you pay more and more, but the reality is if it wasn't worth it, I wouldn't be making you pay for it, okay? This private registration right here essentially just protects your personal information from hackers, spammers, people that call you, just people that you don't want to deal with. So I would highly recommend that you stick with the private registration over here. But hey, if you want, you can go with the public registration. It's completely up to you, okay? And as far as the cost goes, it costs $9 for the year, which is, very cool considering you'll have peace of mind. So with that said, once you're ready to go, we can go ahead and press the continue button over here. And then one last time, we can go ahead and press this submit purchase button. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So once we do that, we will be directed to this page over here, which says thank you for your purchase. This is just a confirmation page that says that, your website is good to go. Just a couple of things that I want to show you over here is your domain purchase summary. It shows you how much you paid right here. You can go ahead and expand this, and it gives you your details right here, when the expiration date is, what the privacy, the period, etc. Just important stuff, okay? So with that said, guys, now the next thing I want to show you very quickly is if you press this publish button over here, so where my cursor is, just go ahead and click that. So once you click that, we will be directed back to our customization page. And once we're back in our customization page, you can make further changes. If you don't want to make any further changes, you can go ahead and press the publish button just once again. And once we do that, we will see that congratulations, your site is published and now it's live. And now if we want to go ahead and view it, we can do so right here. So just go ahead and press this view site button. And we can see that right here is my domain name, foundercube.youtube.com. Let's give it a second while it loads up. And there we go. We can see that the website that I created is right over here. Our pop-up is over here. I know it doesn't look very nice, but this is just a tutorial website. I'm sure your website will look much better. Okay, so that's pretty much how you do this, guys. It's pretty straightforward stuff. We can see my domain name. Our website's good to go. Hope this tutorial was informative. I tried to pack as much information as I could in a short amount of time. And with that said, guys, if you like this tutorial, then go ahead and click the subscribe button below. I would greatly appreciate your support. Check out foundercube.com. I create cool kinds of content like this video right here and more reviews and how-to guides. So be sure to check that out. And with that said, guys, I'm signing off. I will see you guys in the next video.